there is a lot of belief in Drake Jackson. And while I'd like to see them add, I never think you can have too many edge rushers, right? Like that's a position where I've never heard a team complain like, oh man, we have too many guys who can get after the quarterback, right? Like you figure it out. If you have too many, you have to cut some guys. They've dealt with that the last few seasons with how deep the defensive line group's been. You worry about that come roster cuts early September. So I think to me, the name that I have kept coming back to all off season and I will stand on until they get signed elsewhere is Justin Houston, because I think that Justin Houston fits this perfect balance of being a guy who can contribute and be in that rotation and offer something tangible on the field, while also being a proven mentor that can kind of be this veteran voice in that room on the edge and teach some of these younger guys, the Drake Jacksons, the Robert Beals. And as great as Nick Bosa is, I'm sure there's some things he could teach Nick Bosa given the amount of experience he has at the NFL level. And he was extremely productive last season for Baltimore. He appeared in 15 games, if I'm remembering correctly, and he had multiple pressures in 12 of those games. So it wasn't like he was just, the wily vet on the sideline that was, playing that, it's a different sport, but playing that kind of like Udonis Haslem role where he's just this old veteran guy dropping wisdom down, which has its value. But he was actually out there on the field, and there were some games where he completely took over. And I went back and I watched about 4 or 5 of his games on tape, and he still has it. He still has a tremendous amount of bursts off the line. His get off is still there. He has an exceptional amount of power in his bull rush still. So to me, when I look at Justin Houston, I'm like, this is the guy that I think makes the most sense, where you're not going to have to I don't know contract figures that well. I don't like speculating because a lot of times it really is just speculation. But I think he's a guy where you could get for a reasonable price tag where you're not having to, maneuver the cap around too much. But he would be able to come in and give you something where you're getting that valuable veteran input, but he's also somebody who could step in and wreck a game opposite Nick Bosa. Even if you just have him in a role where it's like, hey, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, that's when he's going to be out there on the field. We're going to strictly use this guy in pass rushing situations, let him focus on just getting after opposing quarterbacks. I think he could do it, and I think he could do it at a high level.